How important is your first touch? Have you ever been at training, maybe after training, and your teammate comes up to you, boots the ball up all the way up into the sky, and says, "How's your touch?" What do you do in that moment? Do you stay composed? Do you take it down, maybe 1, 2 touches, maybe juggle after? Or do you panic? Do you get nervous? Does it hit off your shin? And then all your friends run away laughing. Your first touch is the first thing that your peers, coaches, and scouts look at to judge you as a player. And by the end of this video, you should know what types of first touches you should add to your game based on your position. I'm also going to be showing you guys my personal secret to getting a better touch at the end. Now, how does your first touch vary by position? Well, let's start with wingers. The best wingers in the world are able to receive the ball in stride with their first touch. Mahrez is one of the best examples of this, as he's able to take the ball down and get right at the defender 1v1, or even better, take his first touch past the defender. Whether the ball is in the air or fired at him, either way, he's able to take a clean first touch. An easy way to train this is just to have a friend ping balls to you and you take your touch on stride while you're running, not stationary first touches. Those are easy. You want to be able to keep running as you take your first touch. That's the most important part. Another small detail the best wingers will do with their first touch is take their first touch right at defenders, and here's why. As you can see in this graphic, when you take your first touch at the defender, you have 2 options, and it makes it harder for the defender to force you one way. Just look at Robin right here. Now let's take a look at midfielders. This is going to be one of the more complex ones because as a midfielder, you're receiving pressure from many different angles. Not only that, you need to be scanning, you need to see where the space is before you turn with the ball, and your first touch is key to all of this. Let's take a look at one of the best examples of this in football ever, and that's Busquets. As you can see, he uses small body feints, fakes, hesitations, and how much space he creates is actually insane. As a midfielder, there's so many different ways to take your first touch, and it's all about finding what works best for you. Some use the fake chop. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like a fake chop first touch that throws defenders off. Some let it roll right between their legs. Some take first touches with the outside of their foot. There's so many different ways to do it. The best thing to do is to find what works to you and train it. Get a ball, get a wall, and just work on it, and then use it in training and game scenarios, and you're guaranteed to get better at it. Matter of fact, if you're a midfielder watching this, pick 3 first touch turns that you want to use and go master them. Defenders, in this one we're going to be doing center backs and full backs in one take. Having a good first touch as a defender is very important in being press resistant, and I'll explain. In the modern game, as a defender, even as a goalkeeper, you're expected to be able to play out the back. When you take a good first touch as a defender and you're being pressed, it's harder for the striker to know where to force you. On the other hand, if you take a touch and it bounces up, or you take a touch across your body and make it easy for the striker to shape you one way, that's a pressing trigger. Your first touch can also be what opens up the passing lanes for you to be able to play out. Much like wingers, there's going to be a lot of times where you want to take your first touch at a defender so that all of your passing options are still open. It's not as much as like you're going 1v1 versus the striker pressing you, but taking that touch, even if it's just right in front of you, leaves all your passing options open. Now last but certainly not least, we have our number 9s. Number 9s need to master many different touches. Like Füllkrug in the Champions League, they need to be able to take the ball out of the air and then finish. But they also need to be able to back up their man, pause, and lay the ball off. They need to be able to turn. They need to be able to spin in behind in one touch. They need to be able to lay the ball off in one touch. If you've ever seen a number 9 sky the ball miles away from the goal, look at his first touch. There's a good chance that his first touch was way too far in front of him and he had to lean back. Or if you've ever seen a number 9 scuff a shot into the dirt, take a look at his touch. I bet you the ball was under his foot, therefore not allowing him to generate any power. The first step, the grassroots to improving your touch, in my opinion, is juggling. Juggling is something that I would do all the time as a kid, inside, outside, wherever I could, I would be juggling and trying to count, trying to get my high score. And I would do this until I juggled so much that I couldn't even count anymore. If you're at the beginner level, this is where you should start. Once you get a base level of your first touch down, the rest is easy. Now here's what you're gonna do. Whenever you're in a drill with your team, you're gonna really lock in. You're gonna do that drill the best you can. If you make a mistake, fine, but you're really gonna focus on that first touch. You're gonna be intentional with where you want that first touch. Not only that, but before, after training, ball on the wall, like on the ground, in the air, whatever it is, just get as many touches as possible. I'm telling you, it's really that simple. It's simple. I'm not gonna say it's easy because you have to put in the work, but you're guaranteed to get a better touch if you just do this consistently. I guarantee you the best players in the world, even when they're getting back in shape, when they're about to go to preseason, they're doing these types of things. It's simple. You can't reinvent the wheel. You can't reinvent this. There's no other way to get a better touch except to put in the work. If you tuned in to the Road to Pro series, you might remember this video. It was my second ever Road to Pro video, but look what I was doing just to stay sharp. I'm about to play it right now. It's harder than it looks. Try back up. Ping a ball to the wall. Just either turn here or turn behind me. There's no magic sauce. It's really something that's simple to train, but just takes repetition, repetition, repetition. Then it takes bravery and composure to try it out on the pitch, in training, in matches. But yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, turn those notifications on, and I'll see you in the next one. Yes, sir. We up. Oh, and you're not gonna. Oh, and you're not gonna. Hold up. You're not gonna. Hold up. You're not gonna. Fuck, bruh. Damn. Hold up. You're not gonna want to miss my last video on my career update. So go peep that. Yes, sir. Almost forgot. As you guys know, for the brand We Up Sports, DOP kits just dropped. This is the first time I've really shown all the components to the DOP kit, but I'll show you guys real quick. Zipper pocket right here. Super high quality. I've been rocking it for the last like 2 months, I think. 2 months is when I got the first sample. But inside, you got a zipper pocket inside. I don't know if you can see that, but zipper pocket inside and then another pocket inside. So stay sanitary, stay fresh, stay ready. We Up DOP kit. Clean, fresh. Go get you one. Yes, sir. We up.